You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Coming up, authorities continue their search for an inmate who escaped from a Neosho hospital.
And one new study shows a link between COVID-19 patients and a substantially higher risk of diagnoses for Alzheimer's disease.
And despite how beautiful this sunrise is at 7th and Range Line, it is going to be another hot one, possibly tying a record high for today. We'll break it all down in the Skywatch Weather Center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Authorities in Galena, Kansas investigate a weekend shooting in the Foxfire Edition. Investigators say a resident of a duplex fired a gun in her apartment. They say the bullet went through a wall, then struck a resident of the adjoining apartment in the head. The victim suffered minor injuries. Officers also discovered drugs and drug paraphernalia in the apartment where the gun was fired. They arrested a male and a female suspect. Charges submitted include criminal discharge of a firearm, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and also possession of marijuana and meth. Pittsburgh Fire Department responds to a structure fire on East 4th Street. The fire started in a shed attached to the north side of the home located at 1013 East 4th Street and then migrated to the attic space. Upon arrival, firefighters encountered heavy fire conditions, but ultimately contained and extinguished the fire. Multiple people were displaced due to the fire, and the American Red Cross was contacted to provide relief efforts to the occupants. No injuries were reported. Cause of the fire remains undetermined. A crash in Newton County sends 2 people to the hospital with serious injuries. Authorities say a 1999 Dodge Ram struck a 2019 Cadillac Escalade after the Escalade slowed down in the roadway and made a U-turn. The crash occurred on US 60, about a half-mile east of Neosho. The driver of the Escalade, 89-year-old Johnny Bone, was transported to Freeman West in Joplin with serious injuries, as was the passenger, 83-year-old Emma Daniel. Area authorities continue their search for an inmate who escaped while receiving medical treatment. The escapee is this man, 41-year-old Michael Ray Durison. Newton County, Missouri authorities were holding him on a fugitive warrant out of Louisiana. He had not previously been suspected of violence, but law officers say as Durison was getting treatment at Freeman Neosho, he assaulted a law officer and escaped. Durison is described as 6 feet tall, 160 pounds, with black hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen wearing a white t-shirt and orange scrub pants. Some Joplin students continue to arrive home from school later than usual due to a bus driver shortage. Now, bus drivers are running multiple routes, and last year the buses ran 54 routes. This year, they're only running 45. Currently, 6 people are training to get their CDL and start driving. If you're interested in applying as a bus driver for Joplin schools, you can visit our website, KOAMnewsnow.com.
Our transportation department has done a great job, gone above and beyond to combine routes, to bring drivers back, to help drivers, and to assist in any way they can.
Election day is nearly upon us. Are you registered to vote? The 4th Tuesday of September is National Voter Registration Day. National Association of Secretaries of State started the event in 2012. It's a coordinated effort from local, state, and national organizations to urge people to register to vote. Hundreds of thousands of people take part each year. Each state has different registration requirements, and you can find out more about your area at vote.org.
I am registered to vote. Are you?
I am as well.
All right, see, we're on the right track. So if you're not, make sure you do get registered to vote. On this day in weather history, this is an interesting one. The first U.S. tornado to kill more than 10 people took 11 lives at Charleston, South Carolina. It was spawned from a landfalling hurricane, and that was back in 1811. We also have a traffic alert for our friends in CJ. This is tomorrow. I want to emphasize tomorrow. We're just warning you of it today. This stretch of Highway Z, the main way out, Pennell Street, at the railroad tracks is going to be closed starting tomorrow, and it will be closed through Thursday. And drivers, of course, are being urged to find an alternate route. 7th and Range Line. Sunrise looks beautiful. Temperatures a bit warm for a September morning, but not bad. 74 degrees is where we are in Joplin. We've got 70 Fredonia and Yates Center, 73 Chanute, 71 Pittsburgh, 74 Lamar, and 76 as we start the day in Carthage. The feels like temperatures for now are about what the air temperature is, but we have dew points pushing the lower to mid 60s. Now we're even getting some upper 60s, which means we're going to have some heat index values to deal with as well. We're also battling allergies. For you allergy sufferers out there, we've still got an 8.8 out of 12 today, 8.3 out of 12 tomorrow, but with rain chances on the way, we're hoping that that will actually begin to drop. As we go through the day, mostly clear skies. We do warm up, and we do warm up quite a bit. 99, we may even tie a record high for today. Going through tonight, we will eventually get down to a low of 73 under mostly clear skies. And on the future track, by Thursday, you can see that cold front we've been talking about for a week and a half. There it is, still on track. May bring us a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder late Wednesday into Thursday. And then again, an isolated shower possible Saturday. Our better chances are on Sunday, and we may see a few more showers, maybe another rumble of thunder, and then we dry out after that. And in terms of the records, boy, I tell you, we could tie or break a record tomorrow because the record is 95, and we may break that. We could also break the record on Saturday as well, and you'll see what I'm talking about now on the 7-day forecast. We are 99 tomorrow before that cold front gets through, and then look at Thursday, 73 degrees. We warm up a bit, and then we get more shower chances on Sunday, as I mentioned, and then that makes temperatures reasonable to start the week, and then we'll start to warm up yet again as we head through the end of next week. So another really hot day to get through, and then we'll get a nice cold front, maybe some shower chances, and a little bit cooler weather.
All right, something Chris has been excited about.
All
Special
morning.
guest in studio this morning. Live music coming up from Dr. G and the Tall Man. You don't want to miss it.
And we are also going to take you to one university campus. They've introduced a robot delivery service. It looks like the future is now. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
In Health Watch this morning, if you suffer from anxiety, depression, or loneliness, you may be at a higher risk of developing long COVID-19. A new study published in JAMA Psychiatry said people with common psychiatric issues could have up to a 50% higher risk of long-term COVID-related symptoms. That includes breathing problems, brain fog, chronic coughing, and overwhelming fatigue. Researchers looked at medical data from nearly 55,000 people. Scientists say they adjusted for demographics, body weight, smoking status, and medical history. Researchers say participants with 2 or more types of psychological distress had the higher risk. One of the authors of the study said when you're depressed or anxious, your immune system does not work as well against targets like viruses and bacteria. The study suggests seniors who have had COVID-19 may have a substantially higher risk of being diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. The study was published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease last week. Researchers analyzed the information of more than 6 million people over the age of 65. They discovered about 7 new diagnoses of Alzheimer's disease for every 1,000 seniors with a documented case of COVID-19. That's just in the past year. Now, the study did not show COVID-19 causes Alzheimer's. Instead, experts say it showed a COVID infection could cause inflammation that exacerbated changes already occurring in the brain. They noted that other viruses can cause similar inflammation.
We've got some warm temperatures to deal with as we go through the day. A beautiful sunrise at 7th and Range Line, albeit a bit mild for a September morning. 74 with a light south breeze. That breeze is going to be kicking up later, gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. Temperatures across the area, not bad. 70 Fredonia, 73 Chanute, 71 Fort Scott, 74 in Lamar as we start this day. Feels like temperatures are about what the air temperature is. But as we've been talking this morning, dew points are rising. We're now in the lower to mid to even upper 60s, which means we're going to have heat index values that we're going to have to fight with later. And of course, allergy sufferers still fighting the good fight as we have still high pollen counts, or at least moderately high, 8.8 out of 12 today, 8.3 out of 12 for tomorrow. And then we're looking at some rain chances, which should help with those pollen counts later in the week. We've got 99 for an afternoon high today. Yeah, middle of September, 99 degrees under mostly clear skies. As we head through tonight, we're looking at mostly clear, 81 at 11, 77 still at 2 a.m. before we eventually get to 73 for an overnight low. And on the future track, this cold front, we've been talking about this for a week and a half now, and it's finally on its way in. May bring us a stray shower to late Wednesday with more chances on Thursday. It moves on through, and then we're left with maybe a scattered shower to Saturday before better chances start to work in by Sunday, which is rain that we absolutely desperately need. And the other benefit to this cold front is it's going to help with the temperatures, because take a look at some of the record data that we have. We could tie our record today, we could break the record tomorrow, and we could break our record high on Saturday as well. And here it is on the 7-day, 99 tomorrow, and then that cold front, look at what it does, 73 on Thursday. We warm up a little bit before we see more rain chances by Sunday, and then that gives us a reasonable start to the next work week. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News coming up right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Today in studio we have some very special guests, Dr. G and the Tall Man, and that's easy to remember for a few reasons. One of them is the Tall Man is tall.
That's correct. He is tall.
That's where that comes from. So guys, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
So Dr. Gilbert, we spoke with earlier, of course, the principal of Joplin High School, but some students and parents may not realize that he's also a musician. So let me get this right. You're a musician and a principal on the side.
Yeah, something like that.
So tell me a little bit about how the two of you came together. How did this work out for the both of you?
Well, we had played in a little group before, mostly a vocal harmony group, and everybody's schedule kind of got busy, and I realized or recognized that Jason was a good guitar player and a great harmony singer. So I was like, hey, would you like to do something, get together? We both have do other projects here and there, and so we've done this for about, I think, going on 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. And I remember seeing you at a Third Thursday event, the both of you, and I thought to myself at first, is that Dr. Gilbert? I'm like, no, that can't be. That can't be the same guy. It turns out it is. So, Jason, for you, what's it been like over the last 5 years, getting involved and getting out there and performing for the community?
It's been a lot of fun. Playing with someone who writes great music and who is always coming up with new musical ideas it's a blast. Oftentimes at practice, he'll just start playing something. I'll be like, "Is that something?" And he's like, "No, I just came up with it." And so then we'll just start we'll just start making a song right on the fly. And so it's been fun to do that and just get out and play music for people. And we do a lot of original stuff, which is a whole lot of fun.
And see, I think that's fantastic too, because you get a lot of cover bands, and there's nothing wrong with cover bands by any means, but when you get some local artists that are coming up with their own music, their own image, I think that just makes the group more special.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we do a lot of covers. We could play 4 or 5 hours. We have 4 or 5 hours worth of music, but within that we probably have 25-ish or so pieces that are Dr. G and the Tall Man songs. So,
and I was going through some of those songs on your website, and I just absolutely loved them. And there was one that I fell in love with that I spoke with both of you guys about, and they're going to perform that a little later on our show. It's called Happy. How did that one come to be?
I have a guitar that I always walk around the house playing, and songs, ideas just pop into my head, and it just popped into my head, and I kind of fleshed it out from there, and brought it to Jason, and he put the guitar lead line on it, and a harmony vocal line, and we just went from there. So it just, ideas just kind of pop in my head, and from there we just flesh them out, if you will.
Gotcha. And I again, absolutely love the song, so I'm very excited for you folks at home to be able to hear this. And if you don't get to hear it this morning, or if you want to hear more of Dr. G and the Tall Man, you both have some events coming up as well.
Yeah, we play October 1st, we'll play at the Porch Fest, and then we play that evening at the Lobster Boil, which I think is the Carthage Historic Society. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We play there. We've got several jobs coming up. I mean, we play all the time. We play at the Elks and just all over, Pickled Pete's and Frontenac, and I think we're looking at October dates there, and just just all over the place. So
What's that like for the two of you to be able to kind of tour the area and bring your unique sound to the 4 states?
yeah, I mean it's great. It's any opportunity to play music is fabulous. It's great. So I mean we both have played our whole life. I started playing in 4th grade, and so I think Jason about the same age, right?
I was 15, but
Yeah. So just played our whole lives, and any opportunity to play music is a good opportunity.
Well, of course, music does a number of things for the brain. It does a number of things for the soul. It makes you feel good. And like your song later, it makes you feel happy.
Yeah.
It really can bring some joy. Even some of those slower melodies bring joy to folks when they get to hear it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Is it unique being able to bring some of that joy to folks? I mean, just doing what you do and you can make people so happy.
Yeah, it's amazing to see. Like we've played times where Steve writes really catchy songs, and sometimes you'll see people like we will have just played a couple songs that they know, and so we'll put one of ours in, then we'll play it, and they'll be trying to sing the words along because it just sounds so catchy and so engaging, and they'll be like, they feel like they know it, but it's like we're pretty sure they haven't heard it yet, And then sometimes when we've returned to places, people will be like, "Oh, I love that song," or "I really like that song," and so it's really fun to get to share it with people and hear their responses to the music that pops into his head.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here this morning. And again, Dr. G and the Tall Man will be back a little later on our show, and they're going to perform their song Happy for you, and hopefully it makes you feel as happy as it makes me feel. We'll be right back.
It's time to honor today's 4-state hero, Billy West. Staff Sergeant West served in the Army from 1944 to 1946. He served in England, France, and in Germany with the 84th Infantry Division of the 333rd Infantry Regiment. During his service, he earned a Good Conduct Medal, a World War II Victory Medal, and several other medals and ribbons. A native of Joplin, Missouri, we thank you, today's 4-state hero, Billy West.
Well, new delivery service is rolling up to dorms at Marquette University, and the drivers are robots.
Hannah Hilliard reports.
Marquette University,
It's definitely a step in the future.
is joining others nationwide introducing robot delivery on campus.
I think that they're so dang cute. I have unfortunately not seen the little guys rolling around, but I'd love to meet them.
The university soft launched the program this week, and many are noticing.
It's creating a huge buzz. It's very exciting.
Right now, anyone with the Everyday app can order from the Brew and the Union. The robots will then deliver that order to designated spots on campus, like academic buildings and dorms. Would you use it?
Yeah, I would, especially for me. I stay like on the east side of campus.
The university will have 15 robots roaming around.
These robots will cross streets like Wells and Wisconsin Avenue, but for right now, university officials say they'll have a chaperone with them.
Please be mindful. They are super cute. They will have a flag like this one coming up and a light. So that's all we're kind of saying. There'll be a little bit of patience that we'll need to have.
Only the person who ordered can open the lid through the app. And as for trying to mess with these robots,
So we haven't had anybody want to harm it as of yet, and haven't had too many experiences across the other campuses that we've had to deal with. So we're going to kind of see how that goes.
I think there's definitely pros and cons to it, but I think it's an exciting step in the future.
a step or role the university is ready to take.
So I dated myself earlier by saying that robot from when we saw it in the tease reminded me from the robot delivery guy from the movie Flight of the Navigator, which Chris has never seen.
No, we've talked about this though. I'm pretty lame, unfortunately. But you've given me something new to watch because I do like
Yes.
80s movies.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good. So I'm looking forward to checking it out.
It's a fun one. You'll enjoy it for sure.
So yeah, the university, they're planning to expand the program to include more dining options on campus in the coming weeks, and no robot forecasters, even though it may seem like it with the forecast we've had the last few days. 7th range line is looking pretty good. We're still mild, but not bad. 74 degrees in Joplin as we start the day. We got 71 Yates Center, 68 in Iola, 73 Lamar, and 74 in Carthage as we start the day. Feels like temperatures are right about where they should be. For right now, comparable with the air temperature. When we look at dew points, as they are on the rise, the lower to mid to even upper 60s across the area means as the sun comes up, we're going to be dealing with that sticky to muggy range and also dealing with heat index values that will not be fun. Also looking at pollen for allergy sufferers, we're at an 8.8 out of 12 for today, an 8.3 out of 12 for tomorrow, but with rain on the horizon, it should get a little bit better. We're looking at 99 for an afternoon high today, mostly clear skies into tonight. Temperatures will eventually drop back to 73 for an overnight low. And on the 7-day forecast, we could tie a record high today. We could break our record high tomorrow with a temperature of 99. Cold front brings showers and thunderstorm chances, small ones, but they're there. Cooler temperatures Thursday, a brief warm up, and then more showers on Sunday, giving us a nice start to the upcoming work week. We're back right after this.
4 States Most Watched News starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. Personal finance website Wallet Hub releases its report on 2022's best and worst states for teachers. Among the 50 states and the District of Columbia, Kansas is ranked right in the middle at 25th on a scale where number 1 is best. Oklahoma, 34th, Arkansas, 35th, Missouri ranked near the bottom at 46th. The company released these rankings to help educators find the best opportunities and teaching environments in the U.S. Some Oklahoma educators could see another potential pay raise in their future. The state superintendent of public instruction, Joy Hoffmeister, submitted a request to give teachers a pay raise of $5,000. Oklahoma teachers last received an official pay raise in 2018 for $6,100 and an additional salary increase averaging $1,220 in 2019. The budget request will be presented this Thursday. Some drivers in Jasper County can expect traffic delays and detours. Crews began resurfacing 3 bridges at the Missouri Route 249 and Missouri Route 171 interchange near Webb City. The northbound Route 249 to Route 171 bridge will be closed for up to 5 consecutive weekends. Drivers will need to take the detour of northbound Route 249 to Jasper County Route HH to northbound Route 171. Well, the circus is in town in Altamont, Kansas. C&M Circus hosted its event at McMillan Park, featured performances under the big top, animals, and a bouncy house.
I love being able to be a part of the circus and be able to bring an amazing show all over this country. We play 17 different states. We're going to be in 220 towns by the time we're done with this tour. So I love being able to bring the circus to you guys.
Big Top Show featured animal acts, aerialists, and daredevils. Adnan Syed is newly out of prison after a judge vacated his murder conviction yesterday. He was the subject of the first season of the hit podcast Serial, and it's releasing a bonus episode on the case today. If you haven't heard the show, you might be wondering, what's the big deal? Amy Kiley explains.
This is a Global CalLink prepaid call from
Adnan Syed.
If you perked up at that music, you're probably a fan of the podcast Serial. If not, you might be wondering why the Adnan Syed case is getting so much attention.
We're not yet declaring Adnan Syed is innocent, but we are declaring that in the interest of fairness and justice, he is entitled to a new trial.
Syed was convicted of killing his one-time girlfriend Heyman Lee in 1999. They were in high school at the time. Syed was sentenced to life in prison, but has always maintained he's innocent. Serial's first season left many fans wondering if he'd gotten a fair trial. Baltimore prosecutors investigated, and last week they moved to vacate his conviction. They cited unreliable cell phone tower data used as evidence, advances in DNA testing, and information about other suspects the defense never received.
When prosecutors do not do their duty, when they do not disclose evidence as they are supposed to, the result can be that innocent people like Adnan lose decades of their lives for crimes they did not commit.
Yesterday, a judge vacated Syed's conviction and released him with an ankle monitor. During that hearing, the victim's brother said this case isn't just a podcast to him.
This family is interested in the pursuit of justice. They want to know more than anybody who it was that killed Heyman Lee.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
An attorney for the victim's family members says that they're considering whether to appeal. Prosecutors have 30 days to decide if they will pursue a new trial against Saeed.
We've got a warm, mild start at least to the day today. 7th and range line looking good. 74 to start the day with a light south wind, but that wind's going to kick up and start gusting to 25 this afternoon. Temperatures good across the area. 70 Fredonia, 71 Parsons, 73 Columbus, and 68 in Neosho as we start the day. And the feels like temperatures are on point with the air temperature, but we've also got dew points that are creeping up from the lower to mid to even upper 60s across the area, which means we're going to have heat index values to worry about a little later once the sun really gets going. Allergies also a problem. Pollen a serious issue across the area. 8.8 out of 12 today, 8.3 out of 12 tomorrow, but with rain chances on the way, that count starts to drop a little bit. We're going to warm up. We may tie our record today, 99 for the afternoon high under mostly clear skies as we go through tonight. Mostly clear skies yet again, 73 for the overnight low. And a look at the 7-day forecast shows where we could possibly break our record tomorrow with a high of 99. Cold front comes in, showers, thunderstorms, a slight chance Wednesday, Thursday, 73. We warm up a bit, another slight chance of showers on Sunday, which will leave us with some nice temperatures to start next week. We're back right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Baz promised Dr. G and the Tall Man here in studio today. We've talked to him through the morning, and now they're going to perform at least what's my favorite song of theirs. It's called Happy. Gentlemen, take it away.
All right. 3, 4.
This thing would make us happy. And what did you do when you knew it was real? It's been so long since you had this in your heart. You're telling me now that we'll never be apart. When I came back, everything seemed so new. I swear all your friends said they had not a clue. And now as our lives are on the verge of a change, you've got to know it's been so hard to read. Where will we go if this falls apart? And what will I do with the pieces of my heart? What will you say when I ask what's on your mind? You know that I'm far too old for this same old grind. Don't tell me one thing, then do quite another. You said that you'd never turn into your dear old mother. Falls apart. And what will I do with the pieces of my heart? How did you know that this thing would make us happy? And have you changed now that you would make us happy. How did you know that this love would make us happy?
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We've got a warm day in store for us. 7th and Range line looking pretty good so far as we start the day at 74 in Joplin. And I wanted to do something earlier, but I just got caught up in the moment. I'm done looking at trees, although the trees are beautiful. There we go. Let's take a look there where we can see it looks pretty good as we start this day. Temperatures across the area looking pretty good too. 70 in Yates Center, 67 Iola, 71 Fort Scott, 68 in Neosho, 65 down in Anderson. And our feels like temperatures we've been talking about this morning, the only reason we've mentioned them is because right now they're about the same as the air temperature. But as the sun continues to rise and we heat up, we've got dew points in the lower to mid to upper 60s, which means we're going to have heat index values that are going to be an issue later. Also still battling pollen. With rain chances on the way, these numbers expected to go down, but we got an 8.8 out of 12 today, 8.3 out of 12 for tomorrow. And as we go through the rest of today, we could tie a record high as we soar to 99 under mostly clear skies. Can you believe that? It's mid-September, 99. Overnight low tonight, 73 degrees under mostly clear skies. And a quick look at the future track. Here's that cold front we've talked about for a week and a half. Brings us an isolated shower chance late Wednesday and then a few better chances early Thursday. And then we get some more scattered chances on Saturday. These are going to be scattered, maybe isolated in nature. Sunday gives us a better chance of showers and thunderstorms across the area, which we desperately need to help with the drought situation. The one good thing is the cold front will help with our temperatures because, again, we could tie a record today, break it tomorrow. We might even break the record on Saturday as well, which you'll see now in the 7-day forecast. 99 tomorrow, which could break our record of 95, set back in 1954, by the way. 73 Thursday with that cold front coming through. A slight warm up and then more shower chances on Sunday, which will give us a nice start to the next work week. Now, here's Tanya Bach with Consumer Watch.
Thank you, Chris. More than 2,000 books have been banned in schools in the last school year, and that's according to the literary and free expression advocacy organization PEN America. Organization says they've identified 50 groups advocating for bans in kindergarten through 12th grade. They say the majority of those groups formed in the last year. About 41% of the banned books tell stories of LGBTQ or queer people. 40% have people of color as the main characters, and 21% deal directly with racism. A director at the organization says they're seeing a coordinated campaign to have books banned from, quote, sophisticated, ideological, and well-resourced advocacy organizations. Federal regulators have soundly rejected an airline's controversial request to slash commercial pilot hiring standards in half to address the pilot shortage. Regional airline Republic Airways asked the Federal Aviation Administration in April to allow graduates of its own Lift Academy to become airline co-pilots with 750 hours of flight experience. That's half the 1,500 flight hours currently required of new airline pilots. The FAA said it denied the request after it determined the airline's new training program does not provide an equivalent level of safety as 1,500 hours of flight experience. Republic says it operates 1,000 daily flights for American Eagle, Delta Connection, and United Express. Regional Airline Association supported the proposal. However, the Airline Pilots Association, which is the largest pilot union, strongly opposed it. We'll be right back with more after this. But first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
A diving group is exploring underwater portions at the beginning of Roaring River. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Roaring River near Cassaville springs from a cave. Kiss Rebreathers divers work with the state park to map out the underwater cave's depths.
Wanting to try to get the remapping of our cave done. We had no idea that the possibility was there that they could actually go through the restriction. But they're world renowned and they were able to pull it off for us.
Before the divers could go into the cave, they applied and petitioned the state environment boards for approval.
The current leadership here in the state park, it's due to these individuals that this project has been possible. So all of the accomplishments and successes have been a big driving factor from Superintendent Joel.
KISS Rebreathers divers are named after an important piece of diving equipment called a rebreather. The lead diver, Mike Young, improved the rebreather to make it smaller, recyclable, and last longer on deep dives.
And with this unique configuration of a rebreather, it allows us to side mount our scuba tanks, where we wear the scuba tanks on our sides. And what that does is it makes our body profile very narrow, so that we can fit through these tight restrictions.
This is the first dive exploration since the 90s. KISS Rebreather divers are using the technological advancements to explore Roaring River deeper than any dive team before.
Goal here on our monthly visits are to push the limits of possibility using the KISS Rebreather technology and see where the cave takes us.
Reporting in Cassville, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
KISS Rebreathers divers are planning more dives at Roaring River in the future, but are not releasing specific dive dates. And of course, we do have a warm one in store for us today as well. Take a look at 7th and Rangeline. Sky looks good. Temperature's not bad, 74, but that light south breeze is going to pick up and be gusting upwards of 25. We got 67 in Iola. We have 74 in Columbus, 68 in Neosho, 65 in Anderson. The feels like temperatures, again, the only reason we're really showing them is because they're pretty close to what the air temperature is now, but with dew points now pushing the lower to mid to even upper 60s, we're going to have heat index values that are going to be a problem later on. We also still have allergies to deal with, unfortunately. But there's good news. With some rain chances, these pollen counts expected to go down in the next few days. But for now, 8.8 out of 12 today, so moderately high again tomorrow, 8.3 out of 12. As we go through the rest of the day, we could tie our record high of 99 degrees today, because that's what we're looking at, mostly clear. As we head into tonight, we'll eventually, it may take some time, but we will eventually drop down to an overnight low of 63 under mostly clear skies. And on the future track, we've talked about this cold front for a week and a half now, and there it is. Unfortunately for us, not a lot of rain coming out of it. Now for Kansas, we know that Kansas, a good chunk of it in worse drought situation than we are here locally, so they need that rain and they are getting it. We're going to get some rain out of it late Wednesday, early Thursday, then we'll clear out. Then we have an isolated shower or two possible Saturday, and then Sunday brings some better shower and thunderstorm chances to us. They're all still low chances at this point, but we are keeping an eye on them. Hopefully we can ramp some of them up as we get closer to the weekend. All right, today again we could tie the high. Tomorrow we could break our record high. I said 1954 earlier. It was 1956. And we might even break our record high on Saturday. And here's what I'm talking about on the 7-day. We hit 99 tomorrow with those late day storms. Showers Thursday. Cold front for the first day of fall brings us down to 73. The first full day of fall, 88. A brief warm up, more showers on Sunday, and then things look pretty decent as we head into the start of next week with temperatures in the upper 70s. We're back right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. Puerto Rico is underwater and without power after Hurricane Fiona dumped more than 2 feet of rain, causing raging floodwaters on the island. Today is also the 5th anniversary of Hurricane Maria, which Puerto Rico is still recovering from. Thousands of homes are still covered by blue tarps from the 2017 storm. One day after heads of state from around the world gathered in London for the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, many of those leaders head to New York for the United Nations General Assembly. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the environment, and global economy are expected to be the key topics over the next week. Adnan Syed walked out of a courthouse to cheers after spending more than 20 years in prison for the 1999 murder of his high school girlfriend, Hae Min Lee. A judge in Baltimore overturned the conviction after prosecutors said new evidence suggests other suspects may have killed her. Syed was the focus of the popular podcast Serial, which cast doubt on how the case was handled. He's on home detention while prosecutors decide if they want to retry the case. We're headed for a hot one today, afternoon high of 99 degrees. Going into tonight, we'll eventually drop back down to an overnight low of 73, and then we are 99 for tomorrow, which could break our record high. Cold front comes in, some showers Wednesday into Thursday, 73 Thursday, more showers Sunday after a brief warm-up, bringing us some much better temperatures to start next week. And thank you so much for letting us put the good in the morning. In your morning, we're going to be back with more news and weather at noon. Have a great morning, and an even better day.